The Met Office has issued a yellow-level adverse weather alert following last week's floods and their devastating effects. Many are concerned about the impact more rain will have on those flood-affected communities. First up, here's Ean Wallace to tell us just what weather is expected.
Well, thank you, Verna. The adverse weather alert has been pushed forward, now beginning on Wednesday at 12 p.m. and will continue until Friday, 6 p.m. And the possibility of street or flash flooding, as well as landslides and landslips, and also gusty winds. And that's due to basically the heavy showers that are expected as we go through the next few days, all courtesy of the ITC that have been around. Now, we are at the yellow level, which is well away from orange and red. We've seen the effects of these two colors over the last few weeks, but we're currently at a moderate risk in terms of the impact that these street or flash flooding could have. But obviously, you should be monitoring conditions, not only in terms of the weather, but also the official updates as they come through from the Meteorological Service as well as from the disaster managers at the ODPM. At this time of the year, October, Trinidad and Tobago is typically, it gets its wettest month of the year on average. Meanwhile, November is when we tend to see the second peak in rainfall for Trinidad and Tobago. Well, I went recently to the Meteorological Service to talk about last week's rains and what happened there, and we spoke to their seasonal forecaster who gave us an update on those adverse weather alerts as well as those flood bulletins. Notwithstanding the copious rainfall over East Trinidad on Wednesday and Thursday, seasonal forecaster Kenneth Kerr observed that Friday's intense rainfall was the tipping point. Such devastating flooding may repeat once every generation or every century, says Kerr.
And the event that we just had, we recorded 250 millimeters of rainfall at Piarco between Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. and sometime around Friday evening at 6 p.m. That 250 millimeter is a 1 in 50 year event, meaning to say that on average you could have this kind of rainfall at Piarco once every 50 years, or put another way, there's a 2% chance of a rainfall like this occurring in any given year.
For homeowners, a 2% annual risk equates to a 45.5% chance over the course of a typical 30-year mortgage. That's roughly the same odds as pulling a red card from a deck of cards. Flood risk is cumulative. The likelihood of flooding increases year upon year for a particular area. Insurance policies rely on knowing how often it floods and where. The Caribbean insurer that offers excess rainfall policies to Caribbean governments worked with seasonal forecasters to make flood hazard maps.
And we were able to develop flood hazards and vulnerability maps for Trinidad and Tobago that took into consideration population density in some areas, distance from rivers in other areas, rainfall intensity, elevation and slope of the land, along with number of households in a particular district. We suspect that some areas may not have had the kind of intense rainfall that was used to develop these, and now if you feed it into the system, you may find that some of the risk areas may change a bit. So we will do that, but in the meantime, it doesn't stop us from using this information.
For TDT News, I am Ean Wallace.